Happy Cinco de Mayo.
Hey-o! Happy Cinco de Mayo.
Happy Cinco de Mayo.
What is celebrated on Cinco de Mayo?
Wow, you're going to get me on that one. It's got to be some sort of independence from bad tacos.
Bad tacos. Independence from bad tacos.
Independence from bad tacos, Cinco de Mayo, folks.
A lot of people think that it is Mexico Independence Day. No, but it is not. It is the celebration of some war victory. I can't remember the name of it.
We're going to have to find some good tacos today. We're not really going into taco land. Headed south here.
It is the one minor disadvantage of flying is that it's harder to stop for lunch.
Yeah, you didn't even pack a lunch. I see a water bottle back there. And okay, so the beverage service is covered on this deal, but
Yeah.
I am not seeing a lunch back there, which means this is going to be a short ride.
We haven't really talked farmland real estate on this channel before.
We do a lot of work on the sales side of things. So just like you might list your house if you're wanting to sell it, you would come to us if you had a farm and list that farm for sale. And so this one we're going to today is actually a fairly extensive project, 6,000 plus acres.
You got some crop stuff, you got some pasture stuff, you got some CRP,
Yep.
you got a couple building sections.
Yep.
And you got some fun contour to it.
It supports 150 plus pairs of cattle on an annual basis, so all the way around. And on the dry land in this area, that's actually a pretty productive piece of ranch land. When we talk about the potential buyer pool, that ranges from families who already own farmland, and they might be farm producers, right? They're like, hey, we'll buy it, we got money, we live right next to it, or the tenant, right, if it's a leased piece of property. All the way to individual investors, folks like you and me who say, you know what, I got some money over here in the stocks, and I got some money over here in my business. And some folks also come to buy because it's long-term. Farmland has kept pace over the years and beat inflation. And from a return aspect, I don't know that I've had a year that I haven't sent one of my investors a check.
Yeah.
So sometimes the checks are smaller, sometimes the checks are very large. Either way, though, there's a return on that investment every year.
So historically speaking, farmland has been it's been a good investment.
Absolutely.
Been
It
one
is.
that short and long term, we haven't watched the values of farmland take gigantic drops. You recently had a farm sale last year, right, where it was bought out of investment group.
Yep.
It was managed by you and by local farmers and tenants.
Yep.
And after they owned it for about a decade or so.
A decade, and then
They decided it was time to. And they dumped a lot of money into it.
they certainly
improved it,
incredibly
pumps
improved
and
it. Yeah.
water and lines and power and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, they did an incredible job to improve the value over that time, even above appreciation, which is sometimes what you can do in farmland. And so we put it up on the market and had a very successful sale that really was good for everybody.
Now we talk about marketing materials, right? So what you need is a really, really talented video, photography guy to work with you. Somebody who's just like totally like upper echelon of like skills when it comes to imagery, right?
Yeah, you can make or break you. And if you know of anybody that, no, I'll be straight with everybody. Kelly's our guy. Film media is they're the ones that make it look good. And for all intents and purposes, we just have got to showcase the asset the very best that we can, and so we go to the best that we know.
There you go.
There you
Thank
go.
you.
Is that it right
I
there?
appreciate
There you go.
that. I'm not above a shameless plug. I'm just saying. Not above it. Especially when I'm above the ground in an airplane.
That's right.
Not above it.
Not above it.
We'll shoot some video from the ground, from the air. We'll throw the drone up.
Yep.
We'll try and capture the most important elements of this property, and then we make a web page, on farmlandcompany.com where we host the farms and the land that's selling.
Yep, absolutely.
What we want to do is just showcase it, show the angles, answer the questions that people will have, before they come out here to look at it in person.
Farms are what they are, and they produce what they produce, and you just kind of got to know what it is when you go into it, so that you can set them at the right spot. Because sometimes you only get one chance to make a good impression with the sales on Farmland.
That's a pretty smooth fallow right there.
It is very smooth fallow.
That was soft. I'm used to like bouncing around some foxholes and stuff.
Yeah, it's good. We'll get you back up here to the top of the hill, though, so we fly the drone, take some pictures. Okay, welcome to Cherry Creek. Welcome to Cherry Creek, everybody. Here we are. You made it.
I didn't bring lunch, but I did bring some snacks. A couple of clementines, a couple of granola bars. Listen, the problem with this plane is you gotta bring your own snacks, man. Come on, dude. Look what I brought!
You got, oh baby, he's got snacks.
Snack service.
Listen, I'm hungry.
I'm hungry too.
That's good.
What?
It's good that you brought the snack service because
I thought about it like
Muchas
minutes
gracias.
before we left. I was like, we're leaving at like 10:30, 11. We're gonna get down there. It's gonna be lunchtime.
do you see any civilization even remotely near us?
Where is the taco truck?
Yeah, Cinco de Mayo. This is our Cinco de Mayo treat, folks.
Cinco de Mayo clementines and granola bars.
I am telling you.
Tim had some trouble flying in the wind, but I don't really have
Really?
any,
Trouble?
I don't really have any trouble flying in the
I don't
wind.
think there was any trouble flying in the wind.
I'm pretty good at flying in the wind.
We did all right.
Tim, he struggled a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you got auto hover, bro. Real tough, okay? Real tough.
It's all right, Tim. We're not comparing each other.
No.
Just observing.
Okay. I mean, this is going to be a shot, though, coming towards the cows.
It's gonna be awesome. Oh, this looks nice.
See them?
I see the water.
Yeah, they're right in front of the water.
So there's the water, there's something white, and then a little hill.
Yep, there's a bunch of cows standing on that hill.
Is that where we're going? Okay. Keep your fingers out of the props.
Okay.
Here we go. We have liftoff.
Yeah, that's a shot.
That's nice right there. Look at that fallow.
Word to the wise, if you're looking for food storage items, pumpkin seeds, I mean, those things got to be a year old. We found some in the back.
I think they're from our California trip.
Oh, man. Last year.
That was last May.
Well, yeah, it was a year ago.
Right,
Pumpkin
yeah.
seeds. We found some pumpkin seeds, and that sustained us because there's no place to eat out here.
We really blew it. It's like the first time we've done this.
No, you know, it just, sometimes you think, I'll just be out and back. You just got to have some supplies, some MREs or something. I mean, we can at least have something.
We just need to have something back there with
Right.
like full-time snack packs.
Right.
You know?
We're flying slow.
Slow.
Full flaps.
Both flaps. Low. Low, slow.
Okay.
And we'll get some good shots. See you then.
That's what we're gonna do. And go ahead and cue to the cool plane montage.
Montage.
Okay, you know, it's really important with regards to farm and ranch properties that you, number one, have an expert, and number two, that you dress the part. And I don't know, I'm not quite sure where exactly you got that hat, Mr. Ditto, but why don't you tell us a little bit about how this hat,
Listen,
how this hat
let
helps
me
add-
teach you a little bit about marketing, Tim.
Here it is. Okay, teach me about marketing.
He's never given me like total creative freedom on this stuff.
No.
So I thought,
We wonder why.
we're selling a farm, right? So I'm like, why don't I bring my cowboy hat? And you can take some pictures of a cowboy, me, I'll be the model today.
Oh,
And some
wow.
wheat stubble hanging out of my lip.
There it is. There it is. Okay, so, but this is supposed to help us sell the farm, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because they're imagining
They're imagining.
how cool it would be to wear their cowboy hat with their wheat stubble
Okay.
out on the farm.
I
Like
mean,
this.
I can get behind that. I can get behind that.
I mean, this is a $9 million piece of ground right here. You got to imagine it.
And we got to take it.
You
we
know,
got to take it serious
and you gotta
as well,
do,
right?
You gotta do stuff like this. And then cowboys always do stuff like this, where they just like kick the dirt.
That's kicking clods with your. What do you got on there? You got
my-
Solomon shoes on today or Ultras?
They're my Nike cross
He
trainers.
does have a neckerchief hanging out the back of his deal, but why don't we just make sure we sell this piece of ground the right way?
I'm just saying. You put this on the cover, sold, guaranteed. Yeah! That was my grandfather's cowboy hat.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I got.
That's like a relic. That's like a Ditto family relic.
Actually, both of my grandfathers have a little bit of cowboy in them.
That's great.
This hat actually belonged to my grandpa Harvey.
Okay, Grandpa Harvey.
Grandpa Harvey is Canadian,
Okay.
and
There's
from
a lot of good cowboys in Canada. that's
right
for sure.
in the Alberta province.
Oh, she's even more.
Right,
That whole those boys. It's all day long for them up there.
So he was a bolo tie guy. He wore those a lot, you know.
yeah.
And at his funeral, I actually got his hat.
Wow.
So I kind of love it a little bit.
Yeah, I kind of love it now too.
But my other grandpa, Grandpa Ditto, he was from Montana. And he told this great story about how they would go up in the mountains hunting with his horses. He'd bring his horse up there, they would hunt or whatever they did up there. And then he would just like cut his horses free.
Yep.
And he would go home.
Yep.
And like I can't remember the period of time, a few days or a week later, in
They
come the
show up.
horses.
That's
They just
right.
come trottle on back.
Teaching them how to get their way home is what he's doing.
I think that is one of the coolest stories.
That's Mustang. That's Mustang right there. Keeping them free. That's good stuff.
So when I put that hat
Wow,
on,
you come from good stock.
I was born in Montana. Listen, man, I'm no city boy.
Okay. Well,
Even-
that's fantastic.
Even though that's where I live now, but you know, the big metropolis of Spokane.
We really feel fortunate for the opportunity to be representing the seller on this one. They are just good operators. They have a great tenant, long-term, multi-generational tenant on this one. It really is a good property. It just needs to find the right person, the right individual, or the right group who can see long-term. Well, Kelly, you know what they say. I do know what they say. We love your name. Thanks for flying with us. See you on the next one. See you soon. Woo!
Just seems like a fitting way to end Cinco de Mayo.
Oh man. Feliz Cinco de Mayo a todos.
Cinco de Mayo. Enjoy.